Well, I never really get started at the barn today. I was going to say I finished at the barn, but I never really get started. We swam How the Hell, and we have 2 or 3 swimming right now. We're going to swim him until the 15th, and then we're going to re-x-ray, and I suspect he'll start back in full training. Now, there's going to be a hybrid. His knees are a problem, so there's going to be a hybrid between swimming, jogging, training with this guy for at least for a while. And that's all depending on what the x-rays say on the 15th of February. But he looks good. He's sound. Emily said he does carry a little more heat in his left knee than his right one. So we're going to try and work on that. But for now, very, very happy with what I see in How the Hell. So we are going, this isn't about How the Hell. This is about the 2-year-olds. I want to talk about the 2-year-olds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grade all the 2-year-olds. Just pulling up in front of Harry Polton's barn. I am going to go in and see JK Victory in a moment. It looks like they're jogging here. My God, these tough. Harry Polton never misses a day. Never. So let's get through all the 2-year-olds. I'm going to grade them all. I talked briefly in the opening about some of the ones that really impressed me. It was super tough to get any sort of top 10 list prospects or projections or whatever I called it last time. And even when Amy did her list, it took a good 10-15 minutes to whittle that list down. That's a good thing right now. So here we go. I'm going to give grades to all the horses. Now, I'm going to explain each one. The reason I'm saying that is because the first horse is AC Swan. I was very impressed with what I seen from AC Swan the other day. One training trip so far in her entire life was the end of January. I won a mile in 2:52. She stayed at it and looked good. She got a nice gait. Both those fillies got nice gaits. Now they wear hobbles, but both of them look very good doing their work. So very happy with AC Swan. What kind of a grade can I give a horse that is trained once, looked good, looked very good training, but again is behind everybody? I'm going to be conservative and give her a B. Right? I've only seen her train once, so it's pretty hard to say, oh, she's an A+. That would be hard to do. I'm going to give her a strong B. That's fair. Activation was just castrated, not because of his attitude on the track, but because he near attacked one of our caretakers in the barn, apparently. But on the track, his attitude is spot on. I like what I see from this guy. I'm going to give him an A-, just because he hasn't crushed everybody in a bit. He's won sets. He's looked good. But I don't need to see him do better. That's false. I need him to continue what he's doing and mature along the way. I'm going to give him an A- though, just because he was castrated. He did have a week off. I didn't get to see him last week. This is official grades for February the 1st, for the first week of February. I'm giving him an A-, even though because I suspect there's going to be a lot of A+. So I'm going to give him an A-. Alibaba, I'm going to go the strict B again. Did her mile flat the other day, won a mile in 2:54, 2:52 again with Eric. He said she was really good. All I got was the thumbs up when we were pulling up. I said, how was she? He just went like this. So Alibaba, good. Antilles Hanover, I'm giving a B also. Not quite in that A category yet, but getting there. And I don't go with him. I suspect if I really revved him up and I went with him, he would train amongst our top trotters. But right now he kind of floats along. I need them. It's important that they learn to do the medium speed work properly. Top speed work can come later. If they do the medium stuff properly, those are when you stop and start with them, go a mile in 2:45, 2:40. When they can master that, they can do anything. And he is getting there, but he does make the odd break, get out of gear a little bit. But when you're starting him and stopping him, that's because he stands off and he just brushes himself. His first stride forward might be to touch a shin, right? Or hit himself behind. But once he squares himself away and start to accelerate, that dissipates and it goes away. So happy with Antilles Hanover. But again, there's going to be a lot of A+, so I need to be fair. I'm going to be as strict as I can here, giving out my grades. I'm giving a B to Antilles Hanover. Arson, A-. He crushed him the other day and looked great. Does everything right, but when push comes to shove, hasn't been at the top of the class for a few weeks. So I'm going to reserve my A+ to the horses that are at the top of the class right now. That's only fair. Arson is doing it very well. Nice size colt, flashy gait, deep pedigree, but kind of in the midst right now. Now, Jason we had him in with some trotters the other day and only 1 or 2 other pacers, and he was just a blur going by us, so he looked good. So I guess A would be more accurate. I'm not giving him an A+ yet, but A would be more accurate because I think he could easily will I believe, easily in the future get up into that A+. So I'm going to retract my A- and replace it with an A for Arson. Blanton's Blue I'm giving a B- to, just because of his attitude. The horse has been faster than anybody. I trained him the other day in 2:32, which is 5 seconds faster than anybody's been. Time means nothing. Speed means nothing. Being able to leave out, sit, move, jostle in the group, stop, start. These are things he can't do completely perfect yet. And I think his attitude kind of holds him in the way. He's not sour. He's not like tapping. He's like sour. He's not like that. But his first inclination is to not do what you ask him to do. That will eventually lead to castration if that's what he wants to be like. But I'm going to give him a wide berth. He's a very well-bred horse. He only has one sibling, I believe, maybe two, but I think one, and it being Mambasita, who was a filly that made like $500,000 last year. So I'm going to give him a wide berth because of who he is and where he's coming from. But at the same token, he is on my radar. I'm giving him a strict B- because it's hard to believe that the fastest horse we had right now, the horse that went the fastest by far, by 5 seconds, is getting a B-. But that's what your attitude will get you sometimes. So Blanton's Blue needs to come around, or he is going to be at least 2 testicles lighter than he was beforehand. So he's coming forward. Born to Dance, I'm giving him a B. He's okay, does his work well, finished up well the other day. Speed-wise, maybe his attitude has held him back a little bit also, but he's much better now. Jason said he trained awesome the other day. Merriman, I believe, went with him. But he's still just a hair behind, but coming on strong. I'm giving him a B. Chirahola, I'm going to give a B to. She's doing everything right. Running in a little bit, made a break too in the video day that we had. We're working on her knees. All these things. She had OCDs removed from 2 ankles, I believe, and both her hocks. Just working on a multitude of things. She's tall. She's a little bit thin. We're trying to get weight back on her. But I can't give her free grades. She still has to do the work. And she's coming. I think she's going to be a very good filly for us. She very well might be our best Ohio filly when it's all said and done. But for now, I'm going to give her a B. Cowboy by the Sea is an A+. He belongs in an A+. He's done very well now. He was beat the other day by a horse that's not going to get an A+ just yet because her attitude held her back at the start. You can't just say, well, you're perfect now, away you go. She's been great her last 2 weeks, but Cowboy by the Sea has been great for quite a while. An A+ for him. Did not know. I'm going to give this horse a C because we have to wait and see. We haven't seen anything yet. This horse is just starting, has not gone a flat mile yet. That's not her fault. She had OCDs removed from her hocks, had some time off. Just getting her going nice. Nice gait. So I'm going to give her a C because we're going to wait and see. Don't Believe in Bruno is going to get a B also. He had a span of 3 weeks where he was making a lot of breaks and we had to put the hobbles on him, and then they burn him up pretty good, so we had to leave them off him. That day that they burned up pretty good, I think he decided that no more with the hobbles. I'm going to do it right from now on because we've trained him 3-4 times since then and he's been perfect. So I'm going to go with a B on Don't Talk About Bruno, but I could easily see this is Crantini's brother. The speed is there. The attitude is there. The work ethic's there. He doesn't do anything wrong, and now he doesn't even make breaks. So I'm going to give him a B, but you're probably going to see him turn into an A soon enough. Drebin is an A+. I think this is one of our top colts. For a horse that, conformationally speaking, is not perfect, finds a way to do it, and when he does, he's just so flashy and so strong. And the thing I love the most about him, he does stand off. When he's going slow, we jog him with knee boots and shin boots because it looks like he's going to touch. But when he gets going faster, he widens out. He's up over his knee, away from his knee. I actually think Danny's right. I laughed when first time he said it, but I think he's right. I don't think this horse is going to hit when he's going fast, and he is fast. A+ for Drebin. Easy in the turns, A+. His filly's virtually done everything perfectly since the day we got her, and I was told that she mauled them pretty good last weekend, and then Amy went with her again and mauled us again the other day. She was in... The race secretary hit her in a little cheaper the other day, though, so we're not going to count that one. But easy in the turns, an A+ for sure. Electric Line C because I wanted to wait and see. But I could easily give this horse... No, that's not true. He won the set in 2:37 the other day. The C's not fair for him. I'm going to give him a B- just because he does have that sesamoiditis. We need to work on it. We're going to switch him to a set of burrows behind. Blister those sesamoids. When we clean out that blister, he'll be jogging the whole time. We'll either cryo or shock those hind sesamoids, and then from there go to full-time maintenance on him, bandages behind, just maintenance stuff. And when those little lines and those little reactive places on his sesamoids cool down as we get the work into him, get the corks off him, I think you're going to see the horse we wanted to see. This is a fast colt. we do have to use him at top speed, so he's going to have to get sounder and happier and more comfortable on the track. But at top speed, not top speed, when I had him wrapped up, he still won the set very easily in hand the other day. In hand is the key. When you can go from in hand to wide open and chasing him and letting him do his work at top speed, then he'll be a very effective horse. He's not quite there yet, so B- for Electric Line. Flash Fly, A+. Not only does she do her work perfectly and has been great for a month or more, she's had a rash that's really bothered her up in her armpits and on her legs, and we've really been focused on them to the point where we almost took her off the shavings that we were using, saying she's got to be allergic to something. But we're not quite there yet. She was better today. She's been good the last week, and Amy just continues to work on her. But all through that, when she's not perfect, when she has that rash, when it is hurting and bothering her, she's still winning training sets. So I have to give her an A+. She's just been awesome. George of the Jungle, A+. Again, this horse does everything right. Very well bred. Conformationally, he's not perfect. Toed in a bit, paddles one leg. But man, can he ever dance. Just a really, really nice horse. Goldbug Hanover is going to be our newest A+ horse. This is another green shoe that was incredibly rude. She was the queen. She was the queen of cow when we broke her. She was just so rude and so ignorant. And, had to wear the hobbles, had to wear a head pull, had to wear a Murphy blind. I think we had a bit burr on her at one point. Just fight with everything you do. Then we got her training. Now she's at the point where we took all that stuff off. I think she was a line pull on the left, and she was awesome the other day. Beautiful gait, exactly what we want to see. Really turn the corner in the way you want to see it. So definitely an A+ for Goldbug Hanover. Great bet, B-. He just needs to do more. But he's coming. Mario likes him, I think, as we get his health back to 100%. You'll see physically he'll come back to 100%, and then he'll start to advance. But he's doing everything. No complaints in what he's doing or how he's doing it. There's nothing wrong in that regard. So great bet. I am going to give him a B- because there is work to be done. Green Tea, I'm going to give an A+ to. I almost just said A, but he did win his last 4 training sets and does nothing wrong on the track now. So it's pretty hard not to give him A+ billing. He's been great, looked great the last month from a horse where I had just a very blunt but wonderful conversation with Dr. Rucker about his horse Green Tea, and I was wanting to castrate him. He asked not to, and it's his horse. I'm not going to. But he must have heard the conversation because he immediately just turned the corner. And now now he can trot with anybody in Ohio. He looked very good his last few times training. Gypsy Hill, top billing, A+, probably one of our top prospects in Ohio, maybe overall. This is a really, really nice colt. Jason goes with him all the time. Just a beautiful horse that has done it great from day one. Another horse that we picked out in Ohio. Halley in the Clouds, A+. I'm going to give the Ontario Sire Stakes an F. If they can't move that, if Ontario Racing or Sire Stakes or the Hamiltonian Society or Indiana, if they cannot move the Hamiltonian date, and they have the 2-year-old trotting filly eliminations on a Thursday, which they don't usually have any year. I could see Meadowlands went with Friday, Saturday, come back Saturday. Well, Indiana, I understand why they want to do it. They want to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everybody back Saturday. But that Thursday is 5 days after the Super Finals in Ontario. A little professional courtesy would go a long way. And I don't know who's responsible for this, but whoever they are, if they don't change that date, they are definitely going to get an F in my books. And should get an F from everybody in Ontario. Every breeder, every stakeholder should be very disappointed should be extremely disappointed with what is taking place right here. I know that John Campbell is working diligently on it, and I can say that. I'm harsh on them sometimes, but you know what? We're all in the same industry. We're all trying to do the best we can for everybody, and I can honestly say that John Campbell's got enough to do in his daily schedule without calling Anthony McDonald a couple of times last week to update him on how talks were advancing or not in this regard. But hopefully we can at least get it at 6 days. 5 days is an impossibility. In fact, 5 days is such an impossibility that I won't even pay Halley in the Clouds into the Breeders' Crown and a couple other Ontario breds also if this is how it's going to stand. And that's not at a protest. That's simply at a math. They cannot go from Ontario on Saturday to Indiana 5 days later. It's an impossibility. So Halley in the Clouds is an A+ right now, maybe one of our best horses. This is a big, strong muscle mass filly, high expectations for her moving forward. Now, it's February. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm Fancy Like A+. I said I wasn't giving her an A+, but I just keep reviewing what I saw when she just went screaming past us all the other day. How don't I give that horse, knowing where she came from and what she's turned into in such a short time, how do I not give that horse an A+? It's an impossibility. It's not fair to her. I'm Fancy Like is an A+ because she deserves it, and she looks very, very, very good training right now. Insider Trading looks good too. A+ for her. Again, attitude-wise, talent-wise, strength-wise. Sure, she has stuff to work on. She needs to work on throwing her head and acting up. She needs to focus in the training mile, but that's at medium and slow speeds. At top speed, put a glass of water on her back. No issues there. But she has to master that middle-of-the-road speed. And I'm not taking her out of A+ because of that, because she still ends up doing her work great right now. When it starts playing a problem, then she'll get downgraded if she needs to, but I hope her focus will come forward before it starts costing her on the training track. International Spy, I'm going to give an A- to. He does need to do more work. Attitude's good, work ethics fine. He just needs to show off a little bit more, and the fact that he's probably just a big dumb stud is the reason. We haven't seen that yet, and I suspect that will change very soon, but when it comes to the horse himself, International Spy, I like him very much, but I can't give him an A+. I'm giving him an A- right now. J-Port Beach Boy is going to get a B. I do need to see more, but he's done it well so far. But I do need to see more from him, so he's going to get a B. Levesque in Action, again, same type of situation. I'm going to give a B to. These horses are doing their work well, just not well enough for them to get into that A category yet. So Levesque in Action, B. Lonely Lakewood, A+. He's right up there amongst the top 1, 2, 5%, whatever you want. He's been great from day one and continues to be great. Just a really, really nice horse. Lover's Play, I'm going to give an A- to. She has her moments. I have my eye on her. I don't miss her. I see her all the time. I believe I told everybody she's one of those fly under the radar type fillies, or horses for that matter. But I see her. A very, very nice filly. McPaisley, I'm going to give her a B-. She needs to do more. Has made the odd mistake. She just needs to do more. But has speed. I was happy with what I saw from her the other day. I would have liked to not see that break at the wire, but again, I think I know what's going on there. I'm not too concerned about it. Melanie's Michaela is going to get an F. Her and myself and the bar have got Fs. They're going to the sale on the 15th. Just haven't done enough. F is a fail. I failed them. And just needed to do more and consistently did not. Both of them, well, no. Melanie's Michaela's been in 244. Myself and this bar has not paced a flat mile yet. Does he need time off and just grow? Physically, we've vetted the horse out. There's nothing there. There's no line or sesamoid or problem or conformational issue. There's nothing. And I'm not giving him more time. Why would I give him more time? On what grounds could I possibly make an argument for that? So both those horses will be leaving. Mel Gibbs Swan, A+. He just continues to look good. He hasn't won a set in a couple of weeks, but Joey just is always super careful. Joey's just always super careful with the horses. And, one of these days, I haven't gone with Mel Gibbs Swan myself yet, but I will one of these days. I'll go with him, and then I'll get to see for myself what all the hoopla is about. Everybody loves Mel Gibbs Swan. Memory and Imagination, I'm giving an A. No, he's getting a B. He's getting a B because he needs to do more right now. And the only thing standing in his way is just that remnants of him being a stud. He's now castrated. I think you'll see him get better and better. I thought he was good the day I went with him, but I watched him close the last 2 times Darryl went with him, and there are gaps in his thought process. He needs to think a little more at what he's doing, work a little harder at it, and I think there'll be a much more useful Memory and Imagination in there. Not quite there yet. Militant, A+. He has been great, quietly great for quite a while and continues to be great. Mounds for All, I'm giving an A- to. I could give him a better grade. But the fact that he is still a little bit lazy and that he's really stretched some people out to train him where they couldn't get him to go. Now I step on him and keep him on his toes and make sure he works hard, and he's come a long way, but I can't possibly give him an A+. He's getting an A- right now. Myself in the bar, F. I told you why. Failed him and Melanie's Michaela. No Chance in Hill was great the other day. I'm giving him an A- because he has made 3 breaks out of his last 4 starts, but I think Brody knows why. and I think he's worked on it. The horse was great the other day in training for him again, so I'm giving him an A-. He is one of our top Ohio prospects, but I just need him to be more consistent, and I think Brody can help him in that department. Oh Snap You, I'm giving an A to. She's not in the top grouping just yet. I guess neither is No Chance in Hill. So for me to keep Oh Snap You as an A, I'd have to go back and downgrade No Chance in Hill to an A. That would be fair. I told you guys A pluses are going to be reserved for A pluses. So yes, I'm going to downgrade No Chance in Hill to an A, and I'm going to grade Oh Snap You as an A. Both do their work very, very well. Oh Snap You's been good. But can she beat Gypsy Hill and them yet? Not yet. Sedona Hill? No, not yet. But she might. So I'm going to give her an A. No concerns with her. She's done everything right. Paycheck Princess, I'm giving a A- to. The only reason I almost didn't just say B is because she is fast. She can pace. She is quick in her feet, but has made breaks. I'm going to give her an A- and expect that she's going to do better in the near future. I'll start going with her a couple of times when I get back. Also, there's a couple of horses I don't need to go with anymore. Green Tea, I don't need to go with anymore. A couple other horses like that, I can go with a horse like Paycheck Princess from now on. Pickpocket, A+, top of the class, looks great out there. Prince Charmer, I'm giving an A to because he missed some time. He did, his knee blew up. He's on his way back and looks great. I love him very much. Pickpocket, A+, Prince Charmer, A. Pull the Shoes, A-. She made a break on Amy. Then she looked great on Amy before that. She made a break on me the other day. We're going to make some shoeing adjustments on her. But for now, I'm going to give her an A-. But I suspect she'll be A+ in no time. Punch the Clock. I'm going to defer. To give her an A+ would be disrespectful to the other horses that have been doing A+ work the last little while. It's not their fault nor her fault that she almost died, that she missed a lot of time. I suspect she will regain A+ status very, very quickly. Has looked great jogging, and I would have trained her today if it was a -20. Because I wanted to see, but it is -20. She didn't train today. She's not going to train next week. I'll be the first one to go with her when I get back. So on that Wednesday, that's not true too. Maybe James can go with her. I guess what I'll do is I will talk to Natalie Cote, the surgeon. If she believes she can start training, then James can train her on Wednesday. The reason I say that is because I can't go with her when I come back. When I come back from our vacation, I am going to go to Ohio for a week. So, I obviously can't go with her. So that's that. Where are we at now? Pickpocket, Prince Charmer, Punch. There we go. Purple People Eater is an A. Not quite to that A+ status, but does everything right so far. The fact that she peed on Jason a couple of times might lose that plus status. Depends how you look at it. I would love to give her an A+ just because of that. But she just needs to do a bit more. Doing everything great, just hasn't elevated to that A+ status yet. But a solid A. Ready for Landing, A+. He's had a lot of problems with his attitude heading up to last week, but I have to call a spade a spade. I think he's been one of the most impressive horses on the track I've seen over the last 2 training sets. I always suspected he'd be good, and there's a lot of snow and ice and grass and dirt between now and a winter circle in July, but I think this guy he has it. He has something in there, and if we can just keep him on the right side of the fence between now and stake season this year, this could be a scary good horse. So A+ for him. Really don't care as A+. She just does everything right. Just a very, very nice filly. Rito's Lady, I'm going to bump her also. I can't say I need to know more. I need to see more. She's coming along nicely now that we got her gated up. I guess I could give her a C and say we need to see more, but it's not fair to her. She's just getting going now. So we're going to defer her and Punch the Clock to the next round of markings. Royal Emeralds, I'm giving an A- to. She's an A+ speed-wise, A+ talent-wise, A+ power-wise, a D mentally. She's still got that green shoe, I'm going to rip your head off attitude, and I've seen it from all of them, and they've all dissipated. This one's held on to it the longest. I think I know why, because the ones I went with, we had worked them really hard. Royal Emeralds, we were very careful with this filly, and I think she got to a point where she felt like she was a queen and turned into a diva. And the other day when I went with her, by the time we turned to go her mile, I had her thought out real good, and she was very, very, very strong, but I need to see that in a more consistent way. So I'm going to give her an A-, but 100% speed, power, talent-wise, she's an A+. She just needs to get her attitude in check, and I suspect that will come quite quickly. Okay, where are we at now? Seasons of Love. I'm giving her an A. She isn't. No, that's not fair. If I'm going to use the criteria I've used, she's an A+. She's done everything perfectly. She's trotting strong. She's elevated, passed, and trained with and beaten some of the A+ horses. It would be unfair not to give her an A+. She has done everything perfect the last 3 weeks. When I went with her, she won the set in hand, easily wrapped up. And I'm not so certain that in the next month or so, she may not have the hobbles on, which is cool. She's gone from a horse that needed lots of weight and tight hobbles to no weight, longer hobbles, and I think you may actually see them come off over the next little while. Possibly. She has to be an A+. It'd be unfair not to give her an A+ rating. Sedona Hills A+, top of the class in Ohio, and has been for quite a while. Very happy with this filly and continue to be happy with her. Southwind Digit, I'm giving a B to. She needs to get up into that A+ class. No, I'm going to go with A- because she is doing everything right. The only thing she hasn't done is beat up on anybody yet. She hasn't quite beat up on anybody yet, but to not give her an A- would be unfair to her. She's done her work well, and I'm very happy with her. Just need to get her into that A+ status category. Sunset Acres Girl, all things considered, it's impossible not to make her an A+. She's a Michigan filly who is race training with our best horses and doing well. She was second to me the other day and looked very, very good in training all along. To not give her an A+, especially considering where she has to go. And that's no dig on Michigan, but the Michigan and Illinois regional scene, Illinois' got DuQuoin and Hawthorne, those big tracks, when they still have the remnants of the stronger pedigrees that they had before. They had lost everything in Illinois, where Michigan, they were going spiraling out of control a little bit before Illinois. Now you're left with some fair tracks and maybe just Northville Downs. Not a lot of places to make speed and a lot of places to make mistakes when you're talking about that fair racing. So very regional scene, but there's nothing wrong with that. I remember when I was growing up, Michigan was a very tough place to race. Still is, still always will be. But as hopefully they start to build up their program again and get a consistent track in Michigan that is theirs, then other than Northville, my apologies. But after they do that, I think you're going to see a resurgence from them. But we're in the here and now. And Sunset Acres Girl, for where she has to race and what she has to do, A+, she'd have to give it to her. Sweeney, I'm going to give a B to. He's doing well. Made a break the other day, but we did change his shoes. I think he'll be fine now moving forward. I'm happy with Sweeney and can't wait to see how he is going to do over the next few months. Big, strong, good-looking colt. Lots of speed to offer. Can't wait to see him. Third and six, I'm giving a B- to, just because his attitude it's improving, but it was so bad when we castrated him. I couldn't possibly give him anything higher than a B- yet. Gait is there. Speed is there. He went 1:40 the other day and looked very good doing it. I need to see him come forward in a big way, and he can, and he will, but it's going to take some work. So for now, February the 1st ratings, he's getting a B-. Time is on my side. A+. This horse has done everything right from day one. Looked very, very good. To not give him an A+ would be unfair. It would be wrong. So I think Time is on my side is an easy A+. Vaquero Blue Chip, I am going to elevate him to A+, because it wasn't like he was horrible before, and as soon as we put the hobbles on him, he was gone. Like, he's as good as any horse we have right now. Has been very, very strong and looked very, very good the other day. I think Vaquero Blue Chip is going to be a nice horse for us and has looked good, unbeaten with the hobbles on, and looked very, very good the other day. He's getting an A+. Venice Blue Chip, one of our best horses, an A+ for sure. And I don't mean one of our best horses in Ohio as an Ohio bred. I mean one of our best horses, one of our best 2-year-olds in training right now is Venice Blue Chip, and she has looked very, very good. Victory Blue Chip, I'm giving a B to. Just needs to elevate himself. Mechanically, he's doing his work well and coming along nicely, but he does need to continue to advance, and for now, I'm going to give him a B. Watch Your Mouth is going to get a B-. He just made a couple of breaks. You know, John owns him. He's got speed, he's got talent, but you have to have your head in the game and your gait in the game. Yes, probably the flip-flops coming off would help him a little bit, but they're not going anywhere just yet. Watch Your Mouth is getting a B-. Widespread Panic, a B. Again, Joey's very careful with this guy. One of these days I'm going to step up and cut him loose, but I don't have to. We don't have to right now. But from what I see, he could do better mentally, physically. He could do more, but he looks very good. And I think one day, I've said this before, he will be an A+ trotter for us, I believe. But for now, I'm going to give him a B. Did I say B-? I'm giving him a B. B's fair. Winter Bells, A+. This filly can fly. absolutely fly. And, you know, it's funny because there's people that watch the board all the time, like, how come there's so many shares left? Or is she just one of those horses that is going to fly? And for those of you that remember back when No Free Lunch was a 2-year-old, there was tons of shares of No Free Lunch, seemingly right up until qualifying time. People just hang back, especially if they're sent here privately, or we bought them in a smaller sale and we didn't talk very much about them. You don't have that big welcoming that we have for some of the horses. And it was like, here, we bought a Shadow Play filly, nice filly, worth the money, think she'll do us some good, you know, and everybody just kind of leaves her there. Factor that in with, we have a lot of trotting owners that want to own trotters, and that's on us. I trained you that way, so to speak. But Winter Bells, you couldn't ask for a nicer horse. No boots, no poles, just a snake cord because she can get a little warm sometimes, but can absolutely fly. She's got a full sister who already won the Battle of the Bells 8 or 9 years ago, so certainly no concerns. I have zero concerns with Winter Bells, and absolutely top of the class, A+ filly. So with that, 30 minutes. Wow, am I ever droning on today about stuff? 30 minutes, you got all your horses. First week of February, everybody graded here at thestable.ca. So with that, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you all very soon. I hope you guys are having a great but chilly weekend, no matter where you're at. Take care.